Hi, today we are going to see the section 2 or video 2 of UPSC 2023 Prelims Simplified 100 series. And as we have said that we will be taking these courses on Monday, Wednesday as well as Friday. And if we don't have time, we will be taking this course on Saturday also. Since we have started yesterday only, I'm taking this course on Saturday, and please take note that we will be taking this course tomorrow also. That means on Sunday also. For this week only, not don't be confused. For this week, we will be taking for tomorrow also. And please make sure that you revise these notes regularly, and please make a short note on what I am saying so that it will be easy for your revision. And students who are located in Palakkad, please make use of our institution for your offline classes. We will be giving you these courses in a nominal fees. Okay, and we are giving offline classes for UPSC, CSC, AAS, Kerala PSC and SSC examinations. Wide range of courses are available. For example, NCERT, based on NCERT, prelims only, prelims and mains, and we are also conducting examinations, right? So you can contact us through this phone number and email ID. Also, I am taking video courses on some current affairs, and using that video, you have to develop your own mains answer and submit the same answer to us, so that I will be evaluating your mains answer, and I will be sending the feedback to you so that you can improve your mains answer writing. Please make use of this opportunity. I am not costing anything for this, right? Please make use of this opportunity. This is one of the model of main sensor submitted to be by our student, and you can submit your main sensor to this email ID. So yesterday we have taken 10 topics, and let us revise those topics. Yesterday we have seen three declarations: Hyderabad Declaration, Thiruvananthapuram Declaration, and Dharmashala Declaration. Hyderabad Declaration is related to National E-Governance. It is 24th conference, right? Thiruvananthapuram Declaration is related to women legislation. Dharmashala Declaration is related to tourism. And Thiruvananthapuram Declaration is the first declaration for women's legislation. Next question is Open Data Week. It is hosted by Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs. Also, we have seen some topics like financially intermediary funds. It is done by World Bank with the technical support of WHO. And we have seen the topics like RADPFI, Revised Rural Area Development Plan Formulation. And we have seen topics like Indo-Pacific Trilateral Development Cooperation Fund by India, France, and Australia for startups, which gives technology to the Indo-Pacific countries, right? You have to remember these topics. Corruption Perception Index, India ranks 85th out of 140 countries, 180 countries, and scores a mark of 40. It is released by Transparency International. Child Welfare Committee we have seen. In Child Welfare Committee, government has notified some changes that a person who is working in an organization which receives foreign fund are not eligible to be a member of Child Welfare Committee. District Good Governance Index is for state of Kashmir, and the district Jammu has topped the list, followed by Doda, Samba, Pulwama, Srinagar, etc. Right? And we have seen topics of three declarations. So please revise yesterday's topic. It is for your good sake. And we are moving on to the topics. The first topic is INS Vikrant. So this INS Vikrant is first indigenous aircraft carrier, but we had already one INS Vikrant before this INS Vikrant. We will be discussing it in the details. So we will be looking after the futures of INS Vikrant. It has 2,300 compartments designed for the crew of around 1,700, right? And it has assets on the ship, which is MiG-29 aircraft carrier, Kamau 31 air early warning helicopters, and American-built MH-60R multi-role helicopters. These are the assets which are in the aircraft carrier. Its length is around 262 meters and height is around 59 meters. It has a weight of around 45,000 tons. So When we speak of aircraft carriers, it is said on the basis of weight. So you have to remember this point, weight. When compared to the China is using around 66,000 tons to 1 lakh tons. So you have to remember the point weight. And its top speed is 28 knots, cruising speed is 18 knots, and endurance is 7,500 nautical miles. And it has an area of around 2 football grounds in the size. It is also known as moving city, right? Okay. So we shall move on to the topic. So Prime Minister has inaugurated the first INS Vikrant in Kochi. INS Vikrant was the first Indian aircraft carrier. So before that, I have already said that we had already one INS Vikrant, and that INS Vikrant was brought from, sorry, that INS Vikrant was brought from United Kingdom and commissioned in 1961. It was used in various wars. For example, we have used it in 1971 war with Pakistan. Vikrant means V means distinctive and extraordinary, and Krant means move or advance in direction. Right? Vikrant is a largest warship ever built in the maritime history of India. It is first indigenously built, designed, and built aircraft in India. So you have to note the word designed and built. Here, designed is it is designed by the Warship Design Bureau and built by Cochin Shipyard Limited. Right? You have to make this point clear because they will be asking in prelims. The INS Vikrant is designed and built by Cochin Shipyard Limited. The statement is wrong. It is designed by Warship Design Bureau and built by Cochin Shipyard Limited, which is a public sector limited. It is only operational aircraft with the Indian Navy at present is INS Vikramaditya. So at present we have two aircraft carriers. One is INS Vikramaditya and another one is INS Vikrant. With this INS Vikramaditya is an Russian origin made aircraft carrier. Here in our INS Vikrant, we have over 76% of material and equipment of board is indigenous. It uses Stober aircraft operation mode that uses a sky jump for launching aircraft. Simple, I will explain you what is Stober. So imagine this as our aircraft carrier, and this is flat area, right? And here our aircraft flights will be docked here. So when the flight has to take off, it will be using this platform to take off, right? So in this tow bar technology, it will have a slight upper area so that it will be easy for the takeoff. And similarly, when it lands, it will have an assisted recovery. I think you have seen in the video, they will be using a cable rod for assisted recovery because the area in the aircraft carrier is less for the landing area. So it will be having an assisted recovery like a cable for landing of the flights. It is known as tober, and there is also another technology known as catober. And the difference of Stober and Ketober is in Ketober, the land flighting here, the takeoff area will be flat, so that but the area will be large. The warship will be large, so that it will be easy for the flights to easily take off and landing. In our INS Vikrant, it can have or it can accommodate 30 aircraft on the board. What are the advantages of aircraft carrier? What are the advantages of indigenous aircraft carrier, right? We have self-reliance. We can enhance our capability. Using this technology, we can upgrade to next warships, increase its strength, net security provider to the Indo-Pacific region, and we can act as a deterrence to the China. And next topic is exercise synergy. Recently, CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team of India, CERT India, hosted Synergy, a cyber security exercise in collaboration with the Cyber Security Agency of Singapore. So you have seen that, excuse me, it's a cyber security team of Singapore. Here in this exercise, it is conducted by Indian team as well as Singapore team of Cyber Security Agency. Here 13 countries participated in it. It was conducted as a part of international counter ransomware initiative. So what is meant by ransomware? Ransomware is a type of malicious software. Here they will be inserting this malicious software in our computer. So when we open an application, it will block the data, or else they will be saying that if you don't give us money, we will be publishing this data in the internet. It will work in two ways. You have to understand, it will block the data or it will publish our data in the internet, and the person who has hacked our computer will say that you have to pay some amount, you have to pay some ransom amount to unlock this hacking. So this is known as ransomware. Until a victim pays a ransom fee to the attacker, they will keep on blocking or publishing our data in the internet. So ransomware is a malware designed to deny access to system or files on the user computer through encryption and demanding a ransom payment for the decryption key. Okay. So it is conducted as a part of International Counter Ransomware Initiative Resilience Working Group led by the leadership of National Security Council Secretariat. Right? So we are moving on to the next topic. Cabinet approves extension of tenure of the National Commission for Safai Karmacharis for 3 years beyond 2022. So you have to understand a point that this is NCSK, National Commission for Safai Karmacharis, was actually a statutory body. Statutory body. It was established in the year 1993 by the Act known as NCSK 1993 Act for the period up to 31st of 3 1997. So the statutory bodies can be established for a particular period. Why they are making this? Because they are setting the targets that by 1997 they have to abolish the Safai Karmacharis. Means Safai Karmacharis means cleaners, right? Those who work on the drainages. So the manual scavenging like that, no. So they have set up target that by 1997 they have to abolish this, but it was not abolished, and they have extended up to 2004. However, after the 2004, NCSK has been extended as a non-statutory body. So first they started this NCSK as a statutory body. After 2004, it has been extended as a non-statutory body from time to time through resolutions. The tenure of present commission is up to 31st of 3 2022. So on March of this year, the resolution has completed, the present commission has completed, but they have extended for 3 years beyond 2022, means till 2025 they have extended. So in prelims they will be asking, is NCSK a statutory body at the starting? Yes, it is, right? So role of NCSK, giving recommendations to government regarding specific programs for the welfare of Safai Karmacharis, monitor implementation of prohibition of employment of manual scavengers and the Rehabilitation Act 2013, inquire into the complaints regarding contravention of this act. Through the government has taken many steps for the upliftment of Safai Karmacharis, the deprivation suffered by their socio-economic and educational terms is still far from being eliminated. Also, hazardous manual scavenging or sewer septic tanks continues to be an work of area. Thus, the body will continue to work towards achieving the goal of complete mechanization of sewer by septic tanks. It is the work of NCSK to see that each and every state is going towards the mechanization of cleaning sewer bar septic tanks, not by persons. It is the duty of NCSK, right? Now we are going to the next topic. Very short range air defense system V-SHORADS missile. The DRDO conducted a successful missile test flight of V-SHORADS missile. V-SHORADS is a man-portable air defense system. It is known as MANPAD, designed and developed indigenously by DRDO. So as you can see in the image, this is known as MANPAD. So why is this MANPAD used? This manpad can be used for both land targets as well as aerial targets. But here we are studying this V-SHORADS for aerial targets. It can neutralize low altitude aerial threats at short ranges. For example, when a helicopter is coming to attack a few soldiers who is located in the land, they can use this V shorets to attack that helicopter. It is propelled by dual thrust solid motor and incorporates miniature reaction control system and integrated avionics. Dual thrust solid motor means for sending a missile to the air, it is uses two dual thrust two motors for the thrusting operation and incorporates miniaturized reaction control system. So it uses only few control system. Within this few control system, it will be attacking. For example, I can say that if you consider a tank, it has a large control system for blasting of a missile, right? Here it is a short uh, weapon. In this short weapon, they will be using few control system for blasting of a missile. So it is known as miniaturized reaction control system and integrated avionics, right? So we are moving on to the next topic. Pakistan launches first ever national security policy, NSP 2022 to 2026. Here you have to note that does India has a national security policy? No, India does not have national security policy, but United States of America has a national security policy. So, what is the target of national security policy? It seeks to co-locate Pakistan in the emerging global trends and articulate Pakistan's national security vision and interest. It places economic security as the core element of national security. Here you have to note down the point. It places economic security as the core element of national security. A strong economy could create additional resources which would be then distributed to further bolster military and human security. So, in Pakistan national security, you have to see the words Pakistan security. Here, in security means definitely they will say about India. So they have said something about India. That is, this something means on three issues: Jammu and Kashmir, border issue, as well as trade. So what they have said on the national security policy? India's decision to scrap the Jammu and Kashmir, as always, on August 2019 was illegal, but India's stand is it is an integral part. On border issues, special attention is required to manage persistent border disputes which continue to pose security threats. India agreed to abide all agreements on ceasefire along the line of control and the sectors in the international border. Trade. About trade, it has said that it aims at normalizing trade ties with India. But India's stand is India desires normal relations, including on trade, with all countries, including Pakistan. But India have said that first resolve the Jammu and Kashmir issue, right? So we are moving on to the next topic. Rohini sounding rockets. Rohini RH-200 sounding rocket is a two-stage rocket capable of climbing to around 70 km bearing specific payloads. This rocket has been launched. Okay. First sounding rocket was launched in 1963 from Tumba, beginning of Indian space program. So the first sounding rocket was launched in 1963. ISRO started to launch indigenous rockets in 1965. So, what are the uh, applications of sounding rockets? It probes atmospheric regions. For if you have seen that first point is it climbs to a height of around 70 kilometers, right? It climbs to a height of around 70 kilometers. So 70 kilometers means it's upper atmospheric region. When it goes to upper atmospheric region, it will probe upper atmospheric regions where it will see the climatic regions, how the climate is affected, how the ozone is affected. These are the applications of this sounding rockets, space research, test or prove prototypes of new component subsystems intended for use in launch vehicles and satellites. Maximum of the launch vehicles will be dispatched in the upper atmospheric regions. So when you send a rocket, you can test by using these sounding rockets that how it will affect the body components of the launching vehicles in the upper atmosphere. So using sounding rockets, you can test how it is affected in the upper atmospheric region, and similar application can be used in the next launching vehicle. Similar with those data, it can use it in the next launching vehicles. So these are the applications of surrounding rockets. Next is air pollution policy. The center has set a new target of 40% reduction in particulate matter concentration in cities under National Clean Air Program. So actually, The government has set target that it will reduce particulates of matters by 2026. It is done by National Clean Air Program. Actually, the target is 20% to 30% by 2024. Government has increased it by to 40% in time period of 2026. Now let us see what is National Clean Air Program. It was launched in 2019 for reducing for comprehensive mitigation actions for prevention, control and abatement of air pollution. It sets a target of 20 to 30% of reduction in particular matters, that is PM10 and PM2.5 by 2024. But here they have set it by 2026 and 40%. The base year is 2017. Under NCAP, city-specific actions has been prepared, which include measures for strengthening air quality monitoring networks, reducing vehicular and industrial emissions, increasing public awareness. Why they have said the city-specific actions means, for example, if we consider few cities like Delhi, where air pollution is rampant, Mumbai, air pollution is rampant, but when we consider another cities like Bangalore, comparatively it is lesser, so they have to take city specific actions. It is implemented in 132 countries in the country, 132 cities in the country, including 123 cities are identified under NCAP based on non-conforming to the national air quality standards, which means that if a city which we should have, for example, if a city should abide by CO2 by 10 level, but here it is having more than the level prescribed by NAAQ, then these cities are said to be non-conforming to the national ambient air quality standards consecutively for 5 years. 8 million plus cities, those identified in the 15th Finance Commission, for receiving performance-based grant for air quality improvement. So, if you improve these air quality standards, we will be giving more money. This is one of the point of 15th Finance Commission. So in 15th Finance Commission will be saying to Delhi state that if you if you reduce your uh, for example, Delhi is emitting 15% of CO2 and it has to reduce to 10, right? So if you reduce at least 2 to 3 points, that is 12 point, we will be giving you more points. That is, for example, if Finance Commission is giving 100 rupees, it will divide this 100 rupees into 50 rupees, 50 rupees, and out of this 50 rupees, this 50 will be giving this, they will be getting this 50 rupees. There is no um, there is no standards for this 50 rupees, but for receiving these 50 rupees you have to reduce the your pollution level. That is the performance based grant for air quality improvement, right? So we are moving on to the next topic, cheetah reintroduction. Eight wild African cheetahs, that is 5 female and 3 male from Namibia, were recently introduced in Kunno National Park, Madhya Pradesh from Project Cheetah. So as you have seen the image, where is Kunno? Kunno is located in north of the Madhya Pradesh. So let us move on to the details. Where is Kunno National Park? Kunno National Park is located on the Madhya Pradesh, north of the Madhya Pradesh. It has a river known as Kunno River, and the forest type is northern tropical dry deciduous forest. And it has both flora and fauna, trees like kardai, salai, kair, herbivores like sambar, nilgai, wild pig, chinkara, chaunchinga, blackbuck, carnivorous like leopard, sloth bear, striped hyena, grey wolf, golden jackal, Indian fox, etc. So other important informations are, on its southeastern side of the boundary consists of contiguous forest landscape with an patch connectivity to Panna Tiger Reserve through Shivapuri forest area. Ranthambore National Park and Kailadevi Wildlife Sanctuaries are located on the southwestern side of this Kunno National Park. So you have to note down the point. You can see here through this image. It connects. It is located near to the Madhav National Park and Panna National Park, right? Wait. Here, according to IUCN status of wildlife cheetah, it is in the vulnerable state, but in India we don't have wildlife cheetah. From you can see the status, you can see in 1947 they have become distinct. So cheetah declared extinct in 1952, and in 2009 they have made plans to reintroduce cheetahs in India. It is endorsed by Wildlife Trust of India, conservationists and Ministry of Environment. 2022 Supreme Court has given green signal to Project Cheetah on experimental basis. Then action plan for introduction of cheetah was released on January 22, and immediately in July 2022, India and Namibia signed a memorandum of understanding to reintroduce cheetahs, and September 2022, 8 cheetahs from Namibia arrived in India. Why Kuno National Park? It is a suitable habitat. It's have good water. It consists of most of animals, right? And it consists of most prey bears, form a large part of dry deciduous forest, and it doesn't have any human settlements, and it also have other four big cats like tiger, lion, leopard. So this is a good and ideal place for the cheetah reintroduction. Now we are going to the next topic. India Pakistan exchange list of nuclear installation by prisoners. So according to the agreement by India and Pakistan, they have agreed that they will be um, giving the list of details of nuclear installations and prisoners to each other country. So list of nuclear installation was exchanged as per the agreement on prohibition of attacks against nuclear installations. So if you give the correct data to the other country, for example for Pakistan, while there is a war, they will maximum avoid to attack on the areas where there is nuclear installations. So this is the reason why they are exchanging the data. List of nuclear installations were exchanged on the agreement and prohibition of attack against nuclear installation and facilities signed in 1988 and ratified in 1991. As per the agreement, both countries have to inform each other of nuclear facilities, list of prisoners also, including civilians, defense personnel, and fishermen, and they are exchanged under the agreement on consular access signed by 2008, which required two countries to exchange comprehensive list on prisoners on January 1 and July 1 every year. So in a year they will exchange the list of prisoners with both countries on January 1 and July 1. It was introduced in 2008, whereas nuclear installations were signed in 1988 and ratified in 1991. Right. Now last topic is plant genetic resources for food and agriculture. India hosted the ninth session of governing body of the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. You have to understand this association, International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. So this is the first time Federation of Seed Security of India contributed 20 lakhs to the benefit sharing fund. So if you develop or if you understand anything out of research, you have to share. So this is an organization, and India has given 20 lakhs to this benefit sharing fund of Federation of Seed Industry of India. India is appointed as a co-chair of working group on enhancement of multilateral system of assess and benefit sharing. So here you have to understand the point, multilateral system on assess and benefit sharing. So you have to note down the words assess and benefit sharing. Assess and benefit sharing. Multilateral system on assess and benefit sharing. India has been appointed as co-chair. Consensus and implementation of farmers' right reached. So when an plant variety is developed by an multilateral company or a big company, they will be putting some rights on that seed, or they will be using more money when they create that seed for like copyrights, right? So in countries have developed, in especially India have said that for farmers are maximum poor in our country. So when companies produce a particular variety of seed, this seed should be used by farmers with few cost so that it will be beneficial for the farmers implementation. So they have said that consensus on implementation of farmers, they have framed some rights for farmers, that is farmers right reached after extensive negotiations at GB. So maximum these seeds are produced by developed countries. So when they give it to country like India, the farmers have to pay the cost. So they have said that so farmers right are the utmost right. So for farmers right, they have to reduce the rates for few years. GB is considered as in, that is governor body is considered as the option for encouraging, guiding and promotion or realization of farmers right. Contracting parties acknowledge the intervention made by India and supported by many African countries regarding the effect due to institutional reform within the CGAR system. So, as I have said that you have to take note down the word assess. So, why I have said you have to note down the word assess means when they develop a seed, they will be trying to implement it in the developing countries or underdeveloped countries. So, when they come into our developing and underdeveloped countries, the local companies will suffer, right? So here they should get only limited access, or our local developing industries will suffer. So only contracting parties acknowledged the intervention made by India. India is a developing country and supported by African nations, many developed and underdeveloped countries. Developing and underdeveloping countries said that they should get some reservations on access and benefit sharing as well as the farmers' right within the CGAR system. Decisions on issues such as MLS of access and benefit sharing and digital sequence information were deferred for later. So, due to the intervention made by India and African countries, this multilateral system of access and benefit sharing and digital sequence information means use of digital informations in marketing this new type of genetic resources. So the developing and underdeveloped countries don't have such technology for use of digital sequence information. So they have said that it also should be made delay so that India and African countries and other developing and underdeveloped countries can develop their technology for these issues. So let us understand what is International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. It is also known as Sea Treaty, a major international agreement to conserve, use and manage plant genetic resources for food and agriculture. Use and manage plant genetic resources for food and agriculture around the world for benefit of people everywhere. It is a legally binding agreement that was adopted by 31st session of FAO in 2001 and entered into force of 2004. India is a party to the treaty. It also provided international framework needed for the establishment of Svalbard Global Seed Vault in Norway. So in Norway, they have a seed vault. You know that Norway is a northern country and they don't have such warm climates like tropical climates. So the climate is good for preservation of plant materials. So they have through this legal framework they have established a vault in Svalbard seed vault in Norway. Funding of the treaty comes from the contracting parties and FAO. Now let us understand what is plant genetic resources for food and agriculture. Plant genetic resources are plant materials such as seed, fruit, cutlings, pollen and other organs and tissues from which plants can be grown. PGFARA include the traditional crop varieties and their wild relatives, modern cultivars, breeding lines which provide feed for domestic animals, fiber, clothing, shelter, medicine and energy. So these plants include even eating and also for feed for domestic animals, fiber, clothing, shelter. Plants include everything, no? Right. PGFA can be used to develop new varieties or to improve the quality and productivity of crops. National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources established in 1976. This is India's National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources established in 1976 is the nodal organization for India in planning, conducting, promoting, coordinating and leading all activities concerned plant. So this is all for today. Thank you.